Welcome everyone to Buying Local. I'm your host, Mike Nelson from Five Towers Media. Joined today by Krista and Lynn from Luxe Key Realty. Sorry, I was almost going to mess that up, guys. Which I'm very well known for, so please don't take it personally. I often mess up names and company names. I don't know why. It's kind of a nervous tick, I think, that I have. But welcome. How are you guys?
Thanks.
Good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just enjoying the sun that we have right now
Yeah.
and enjoying this fall weather. Uh, maybe to get started, guys, if you want to just one at a time, just kind of introduce yourselves, who you are, and tell us a little bit about Luxe Key Realty.
Yeah. So I'm Lynn Milone-Baker, licensed broker at Luxe Key Realty. And Krista and I have formed this company together in April of this year, or May, I think we opened our doors and just had our ribbon cutting in September. So I've been doing this full time for 15 years and decided that it was time to go off on our own.
Nice. And how about you, Krista?
Yeah, I'm Krista LeMay, and I've been doing real estate now for 4 years. And yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah. And how does it work? I know, obviously, are you both brokers, or like in the relationship, or with the New York State Department of State laws? Like, is one a broker and one's associate, or are you both brokers? How does that work?
So I'm the principal broker
Okay,
here. And
I'm a salesperson working on getting my associate broker's license.
got it, got it. I know the laws are they're interesting. I don't want to say weird, but they're interesting about how they have that set up and
Yeah.
what you have to do in order to be one, and in order to own it, you have to be something. And um, have those laws changed a lot in the last few years? Like, I know in a lot of things we've seen a lot of regulation changes. I was wondering if real estate was affected by any of that stuff.
Not as far as licensure for brokerage versus associate broker and salesperson. That's pretty much stayed the same.
Gotcha.
How we run transactions is where the changes have occurred.
That's where a lot of the changes are. Yeah.
Yeah, for sellers and buyers, those types of things.
it was
Yeah.
pretty easy. So once you have your associate broker's license, so I've had my license my broker's license, associate's broker's license since 2013.
Mhm.
And once you have that, you can manage an office. There's a different hat that goes with that versus a salesperson.
Mhm.
So when we decided to open this brokerage, all I really had to do was apply for my broker's license because I was already associate broker. So it was pretty easy to do
Yeah.
once you have that title. So I could have managed an office, which is why I always trained agents and Krista was with me for 3 years and before we did this. So usually I train them and then they go off on their own. But Krista just stayed. So I said, well, what do you think if we just kind of go off on our own and do our own thing? I think for me, I was looking for, an opportunity that offered greater potential and just more growth. And that was the reasoning why I wanted to kind of go off. I felt like I couldn't go any further,
Mhm.
that this was a better opportunity. So we are definitely, our goal is to offer that same opportunity to other agents as well and other salespersons. So that's our idea here. We're trying to be a little bit different on the ideas that we wanted to do before that we couldn't express ourselves with, such as, we wanted our listings to be prominently displayed on a window, and we have that now. So, or hey, we're open, we have that now. We have a living room space, and that's great to have clients just come in and relax. I had some past clients of mine that came in that were looking to sell their home and repurchase. So they came here with their children on Friday, and one teenager sat up front on the couch, and another sat in the back, took their shoes off and had a blanket. And it was more relaxing for them to just have a place to do that.
Yeah.
While, we were showing them stuff on the big screen. So it was nice to have that. But
Mhm.
I think that our goal is to just have something that's different, and just to stand out and just offer something that's more homey and something more relaxing, but also have those innovative tools that we're looking for.
Yeah. What and where are those windows? Where are you guys physically located?
We're in the Queensbury Plaza, which is in where Jersey Mike's, Olive Garden,
Oh,
Good
okay.
Vibes is. Yep.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
in Queensbury. Yep.
The Smoothie King, I think, is over there, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Petco. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a busy plaza. That's a good
Yeah.
place to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
And have you been in that plaza since you opened?
Yes.
Because you have to have a physical space, right? In real estate in New York State? Like you can't do like a virtual office or something along those lines?
I think you can work from your home. You
Yeah.
can have a home office.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So I know there's like
But
all the different rules.
yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of meeting people. So I guess
Yeah.
if you're comfortable with that in your own home, then that's an option for you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I know probably everybody listening wants to know, how's the real estate market right now? Like what's going on?
I was always trained the real estate market is great.
No matter what, right?
That's what you say every time, no matter what. It's great. But so my take on that is, people ask that all the time, but it's a slow time to start a business, or it's the interest rates or this and that. But the reality is that people are always going to need to buy or sell. Even if they're relocating, they lost their job, they're getting a divorce, they're splitting up. I mean, whatever the case may be, people are always going to buy and sell. So it's just a matter of being in front of those people that are buying and selling. That's, so to answer your question, real estate's great. But
you
yeah,
see things in the news all the time. Like, in my experience, I always felt like our local market is pretty insulated from the pressures that a lot of parts of the country see, right? So we're almost, I mean, to my knowledge, I think we're almost always growing, although sometimes that growth is slower than other times of the year. But it's good though, right? Like, good time to sell, good time to buy.
It's always a good time to sell and
Yeah.
a good time to buy.
Yeah.
But I mean, to answer your question, it's still a little bit of a seller's market. It is
Yeah.
kind of dabbling a little bit the other way. As long as more homes keep coming on, then there'll be more opportunity for buyers to purchase and so forth. But interest rates are where they're at, and I think when the buyers start seeing them with a 5 in front of them versus the 6, that it makes them kind of go out. So it just and it is hovering around that. So
Yeah. Is it so still seller's market? So is it still like every listing still getting into that multiple offer situation? Are you still seeing a lot of that, or is it kind of back to like a normal seller's market where, a home's on the market for, I don't know, 30, 60 days maybe, and you have offers coming in, but it's not like 25 people trying to beat down the door of every listing the minute it goes on the market?
I mean, for me, I'm seeing it's more location based. If it's in a great location, the house is in great shape, you're still going to go into multiple offers. So more of
Okay.
the rural areas or less desirable areas, they'll sit a little bit longer. They'll be a little bit more negotiable on what they're accepting for,
Mhm.
selling. So
Yeah.
it changes a lot.
it depends on the house too. What
Yeah.
type of a house is it? Like
Mhm.
townhomes, they sell pretty quickly. Multifamilies, I feel like, are selling a little bit slower than single family. So it just depends on, and also area is a factor too, like Krista said, and price point. So all those factors make a difference as if it's going to go in a multiple offer or if it's going to sit and just get one offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you too, is like, what are some of the things, like if I'm thinking about selling my house, like what are going to be some indicators that I'm going to be in a situation, in an area, or have all the conditions present so that I'm really ensuring the fact that there's going to be high demand for my house? Like, are there things that you see often that could indicate that, or is it more just kind of the magical time when all of those situations come together at once?
I mean, I feel like if it's move-in ready and it checks a lot of people's boxes,
Mhm.
We still have a lot of obviously buyers that are FHA and VA, and those loans are a little bit stricter.
Mhm.
So you're going to get more opportunity for people to come through, and then you're going to get more demand for your property if it meets those demands for those loans. And then you're going to go into probably multiple offers.
Gotcha.
So,
And based out of Queensbury, I assume though you don't just cover Queensbury. Like what kind of footprint do you guys have?
Saratoga County, Warren County, and Washington County predominantly.
Okay.
Some of
Yeah.
some of Essex,
Yeah.
some of Rotterdam.
Some of
it
Fulton. I
depends
mean,
on,
yes.
yeah, you just sold one.
Yeah.
Way there. Depends on where we're, willing to travel to, but
Yeah.
we will. Like
Yeah.
if I have past clients, I have sold
Correct.
quite a few houses in Rotterdam just because that's where they are.
Yeah. Yeah. But and like Essex County, is Ticonderoga Essex County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love Ticonderoga, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a cute little town, like I love
Yeah.
that area. It's nice.
It is.
So, on the listing front, like, do you guys see, like, are you getting into commercial real estate? Are you focusing on residential? Is it a mix of both? Like, what does that look like for you?
I mean, we'll work with both, but I do prefer residential
Mhm.
over commercial. For me, that's my niche, and first time home buyers, I really enjoy working with them as well. The excitement that comes with all of that, the whole process from beginning to end, working with them. So, yeah.
Yeah. I have commercial listings,
You have commercial.
vacant land, residential, resale, multifamilies. I'll take what I have
What comes in?
and
Yeah.
work with it.
Anything notable on the commercial side?
Yeah, so I do have the Heidelberg restaurant available for sale. It's
Oh.
on Quaker Road in
Yeah.
Queensbury. It's an established, well-known German and American restaurant, and it is turnkey ready. The owner is willing to train the potential new buyer, so that way everything transitions smoothly. However, if someone doesn't wish to keep it as the Heidelberg, they could
Mhm.
certainly turn it into a restaurant of their own since it's already established for food. But yeah, so of course, if anybody's interested in the Heidelberg, just to give me a call or call the office here.
Yeah.
More information on that.
I hope whoever buys it keeps it as the Heidelberg and continues to sell that German potato salad that those guys have. It's the standard. I think anytime I have German potato salad, like I think about the Heidelbergs when I'm eating a German. I'm like, oh, it's just not quite as good because their German
Yeah.
potato salad is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I walked in there and he had on special. I just went in there to talk to him, about real estate, and he had a dill potato soup, and I was with bacon, and I was like, okay, I have to have some of that to bring home and have later for dinner. So that was really awesome. Yeah, it was really delicious too.
Yeah, I love their food. When I still lived in town, I used to go there all the time. And whether it was um, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of the sandwich. A Reuben. Whew, boy, I couldn't think of that. I used to get the Reubens all the time anyway, and that and the German potato salad is just such a good combo.
Mhm.
So yummy. Um, and so I'm curious about when someone's selling a restaurant like that. Obviously, there's the real estate portion, and then there's the business portion as well. Like, does that? So I think if what you're saying is like it can be bought as a package, both the business and the real estate, or someone can just buy the real estate. Is that how does that work?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. So the option is to you can just buy the building and use it as whatever you want. If you want to change it from a restaurant, obviously you have to go to the town and see if it's something that you could do. Otherwise, you would just keep it as a restaurant of your liking, or for a different tiered price, you can have the current owner train you and just keep it like a smooth transaction and continue right on as the Heidelberg with all the contents that go with the establishment for the Heidelberg, such as everything, the decor, the boots, that you drink out of,
Yeah.
and just everything that goes with that. But just standing alone with equipment and everything comes comes with it if you don't want to have the Heidelberg name and the business to continue on.
Which, why wouldn't you? I mean, how long have they been in business?
Since 1972. I think it's 1972.
We're over 50 years. I mean, 50
Yeah.
years of brand recognition and reputation, you really can't replace that, you know.
Right.
Well, I hope someone buys it. I hope that they keep it the Heidelberg.
Yes, same here.
What, Lynn, what does marketing a listing like that entail? Like, that's got to be a hard thing to market.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's why we're using this podcast as a piece of that. But yeah, so I have we have an 18x24 display of just the Heidelberg here at the office in the window.
Nice.
Hey, restaurant for sale, and it displays, their food that they're using. So not only with that, but of course the internet. Most people are shopping online for everything that they're looking to purchase. So a lot of different commercial sites there are besides the MLS that you could put them on that will syndicate out, or just people looking in commercial. It's a different animal, and that's why I think a lot of people don't like to get into commercial. It's different, it's just different.
Yeah.
You've got the building is square feet, the equipment, you kind of have to know what you're looking at, and I think a lot of home experience kind of trickles onto that, because if you don't know what a central air unit looks like compared to a furnace or a hot water tank, or if the hot water tank is fueled by gas, or if it's electric, I mean, you kind of have to know all of that stuff. So when you get into commercial, it's just like a totally different thing. So yeah, but yeah, there's different search engines and stuff that you can put out there, because a lot of people do look on the internet, I feel. And that's another thing that we were trying to accomplish here is people do like to shop online, and people are shopping online more and more and more. And a lot of buyers are shopping online. We kind of we agree that we appreciate that. I shop a lot online for clothes. I shouldn't do that. It's bad. Never again, I say, but then I do it. But anyways, it's the same thing. Like, we're trying to do that old school, where people could just kind of walk in and have that same shopping experience that they used to have, versus just going online. So we're hoping to bring that to the community, where people can just come here and kind of shop here, like on our iPads or on our flat screens, and kind of browse, or what are you looking for? Like, hey, let's look together, type of thing. No pressure, just relaxing, type of thing. So that's kind of what part of our goal is too.
So it's really that, like you said, that old school kind of service, right? Like, we'll look with you, as opposed to just, hey, find the house and we'll set up the showings.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We do have two additional girls here with us. We have Marina Lazarescu, and we also have Christine Serrano. They're both licensed sales professionals here. And that's another thing that we do is we bought all of our agents electronic desks, where they can stand or sit.
Oh, nice.
We also have a walking pad here that anyone can use. We just wanted to bring that extra special something for, and the same thing with the living room. Like, if we need a break and we just want to step away and just go relax for 10 minutes or a half hour or whatever, we can just do that. And that's the beauty about being an independent contractor. We make our own hours, we do our own thing. So that's nice. But, I mean, and also, we're really looking for agents who feel the same way that we feel and have that same mindset where, they might want to join here and have that same feeling that, the four of us have here together so far.
Yeah. So a lot more community, a lot more personal touch, it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Krista, I'm curious, you'd mentioned working with a lot more, or that you like to work with first-time home buyers. Are you seeing any kind of like trends or things going on with first-time home buyers that might be new? I don't know if there is, but I'm just curious about
No, not really. I mean, I feel like as long as they meet with a lender first and get an idea of what that budget looks like, because we can all pay rent, but when something goes wrong, you call the landlord. So I think it's different when you purchase a house and you're having that conversation of walking through and saying, like, the hot water tank is already at end of life and you might be already needing a new one once you become the owner of it, stuff like that. So just talking with the lender helps them a lot figure out their expenses versus thinking they know what they can afford monthly, and they have inaccurate numbers because they're not usually taking in taxes and all of that too.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to be as realistic with them and making them feel comfortable with what their budget is, to make that next step for them.
So not to say how old I am, but I am getting on in years. And I know when I bought my first house, I think it was like $86,000.
Yeah.
What's a average price range do you think, or shooting from the hip for first time home buyers right now in the current market?
I mean, for something, I would say minimum of like 175, honestly, to get something that's, within, you can live in it
You're
without,
right. It's not a tear
yeah,
down.
and needing to completely gut it before you make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was looking at something recently and like what a lot of foreclosures are going for, and I was like, oh my God, like it's a foreclosure. You're gonna have to do so much work, and just some of the prices sound so scary. And so I was just curious about like first time home buyer, like what does that look like for folks? And um, do you see a fair amount of first time home buyers?
I do.
That's
I
good.
do. Yeah, it's encouraging. Absolutely. I feel like there's like a gap of where there's a certain age where I think they're comfortable renting.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's a lot of really young people just out of college in their mid 20s that are very eager to home buy right now. And so that's fun.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Kind
I
of
know.
restarting that again, because the 30s are kind of settled. They like where they're at, and it's fine if you're comfortable, right? But a lot of my first time home buyers right now, I'd say are mid 20s and they're good to go.
That's awesome. I know, what was it, just a few years ago, there was like a huge trend with people not wanting to own and wanting to rent, right? And that kind of
Mhm,
was
mhm.
sending things into a bit of a tumultuous state, but good to hear that that's changing.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
What, as we look kind of down the road a little bit, do you see any trends coming up? Do you see things moving in any certain directions as far as turning more to a buyer's market, or things softening or staying a seller's market? Like what do you see down the road for the next year or two?
I mean, I really see things staying the way that they are. I mean, if we could get more inventory, more
Mhm.
houses on the market, I think that would slow down it being a seller's market at this point. But we just don't have a lot of inventory for buyers to look at. So when something comes on the market, we all have a plethora of buyers right now, but nothing to show them. So
Yeah,
when that house comes on the market, that's why it's still a seller's market. The young buyers, or really any buyer, there is a concern with the interest rates, but they'll look past it if they really like that house and it's in their budget.
yeah.
But we just don't have the inventory. So, and it's been like that for a while. So I don't necessarily see that changing anytime soon.
I'm hoping that the spring will change
For a little bit.
because I think a lot of people have that mindset where, oh, I'm not going to put my house on until the spring. But what they don't realize that people should be putting their house on all times of the year because of the inventory. But
Mhm.
also a lot of sellers have that mindset where I'm not going to put my house on the market in the winter time, which is so false because if you're in the spring market, which is when everybody puts their house on the market, you're
Mhm.
competing with everyone else. If you list your house in the winter time where there's a huge snowstorm and
Mhm.
nobody else is doing that and you're the only house on the market, your house is going to sell and you're going to be very, one of those houses that are just everybody wants because it's the only one. So when people say, I'm going to wait till spring, maybe you shouldn't wait till spring. Maybe you should wait until winter,
late fall.
I know it's, if you just think outside the box a little bit and just have that
Mhm.
mindset of, you know, spring is not yes, it's when everybody does, but everybody thinks that way. And winter is a great opportunity as well to sell your home because you have less competition. And yeah, so that's, hopefully things will come on in the winter too. Hopefully I'm sparking people to list in the winter.
Right. The inventory thing is really fascinating to me too, especially like in the Glens Falls, Queensbury area, right? Like obviously Glens Falls, not a lot of development going on, but I feel like Queensbury still has a fair amount of development going on, right? Like just over on what is it, Corinth Road, there's a few different developments over there. Sherman Ave, I think Upper Sherman's got some stuff going on.
Mhm. Mhm.
It, it's interesting to me that we have development happening. We have a huge rental market, and I feel like more rentals popping up all the time, and rental developments popping up, and yet we still have such a demand problem or supply problem, which creates the demand problem. And any ideas on why that is? Like it never seems to wane. It just seems to stay steady, even though there's new houses being put into the market.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense that there's a lot of new construction because there is no residential resale out there. If residential resale is low, then they're going to build
Mhm.
no inventory, and then they'll sell it. But the problem is that pricing for new construction is very costly. So, I mean, it's more expensive to build now, and but they still sell because there's no inventory. But
Mhm.
that's a really good question how you asked before about why maybe people are not selling. I think it's because if you're a seller right now, your interest rate is probably lower than it is now. If you just bought within the past, let's just say 8 years or so, your
Mhm.
interest rate's going to be significantly lower than it is now. So in order for you to sell and buy, when you purchase, your interest rate is going to be what the rate is today. So a lot of people are not selling because of that reason. So that explains why there isn't a lot of inventory,
Oh, okay.
because they don't want to, unless they're moving into an apartment, it really doesn't make sense for them
Yeah, because
on their
they have
situation.
they're going to increase their payment, right? Because their interest rate's going to go up. The house is probably going to be more expensive, so better to sit tight and fingers crossed, right?
Yeah. So I think that's a huge factor into why there's no inventory.
Yeah. I I mean, are there any market forces that are going to shift that, or is that just kind of the new normal?
It's that interest rate, I think, that drives it. So if those rates come down, even like I said at the beginning of the podcast, if a buyer sees or a seller sees it in a
Mhm.
5 point something versus a 6 or 7%, then they might be more likely to say, okay, well, now's the time. Because they are talking and saying that we're never going to get back down to that 3% anytime soon. So I
Mhm.
do believe that's correct. I don't think it's going to go back down to 3%. I just don't. So I think that if the sellers and the buyers see it with the 5 in front of it, that might be a little bit of a push for that potential to say, okay, there's potential interest rate to sell now and move.
Yeah. Are there any I'm just wondering if there's any areas that are in super high demand right now. So if they're a seller, they should probably call you and list their house with you because they're in that area.
Lake George School District.
Still, I mean,
Yes.
that
Never ends.
it
Never
never
ends.
ends.
It's you got a house with Lake George School District, doesn't matter what your address is, Diamond Point, Queensbury, whatever,
Yeah.
you're gonna sell.
It's funny because I mean, I've been hearing that it's got to be 20 years, right? That I've been hearing that. Is the school system in Lake George really like that amazing? I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about it, but I've been hearing that same thing for decades.
Um, it's it's it is a good school system, but the taxes are really good.
Oh, okay.
And that helps with a higher price point house if you have
Yeah.
those lower taxes. So yeah, but no, the school is good. I mean, I might be biased. My son goes there.
Was there?
My husband graduated from there. So
Well, that's why I laugh when she says Lake George.
yes,
Yeah.
get it.
My answer would be everywhere is hot. There's nothing out there. So,
But it does seem to move quicker, I
Yeah.
would say, if it has a Lake George school district
Yeah.
tagged.
Well, and shout out to your husband Joel, by the way. Him and I go way back, obviously.
Yes,
Um, how is Mr. LeMay?
he's doing just fine. He is
Doing
great.
just fine. That's good. That's good. Well, please, if he doesn't listen to this, please give him my best.
I
Uh,
will.
so, how about the future of Luxe Key? What is the next year, 2 years? You're a young business. obviously you both have years of experience in real estate, but as a business, you're in your first year, you're moving on to year 2, year 3. What does that look like for you guys?
I feel like it wants to be a name that people recognize. It's not new anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I mean, I would love to have a bunch of agents in here that have the same goals that we do and have that same mindset that we have. And have that opportunity for all of us to grow together. I don't feel like we both have the same thing where we're not looking to get to be a huge brokerage. We're not looking to have 100 agents. That's not our goal. We definitely have that boutique feel, right?
Yeah.
That we want to try to have our agents feel the same way as us. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's my vision as far as what I'm kind of thinking. But it's always going to have Krista, I said, when I retire, she's got to run the whole show.
We don't want to talk about that though. She's not leaving anytime soon. I will drag her here.
Yeah. Running business is not easy. So I get it. I get it.
It's definitely nice to have a place to kind of feel at home here, like I feel at home here. I feel like this is like my second home,
Oh yeah. Yes.
But we do have another hidden relaxing area. We'll just call it that. So that, for us,
just to get away.
Yeah.
You can hide where the windows, you can't be seen. You need a moment. You got it. Space
you can
to
retreat
go.
back to it. Yeah. So if people want to learn more about Luxe, or they want to learn more about your listing of the Heidelberg, or they want to see more about you guys, who you are and what you're about, how do they find you?
Well, we do have a website, luxekeyrealty.com.
Yep. Or they can call us on our main line here at 518-791-7494, or they can stop in.
Perfect.
No, our phone number is not that. She's working on that. It's 518-741-7494.
The struggle is real, Lynn. The struggle. I got a new cell number like 4 months ago, and I still mess it up all the time. So
I'm so used to saying my cell phone and not having an office phone to give to anybody. So it's kind of like learning, a new phone number all over again. But when I saw her look at me, I was like, "That's not right, is it? That's not right."
We're working on it. We're getting there. We're getting there.
A couple more months, I'll have it down.
It's a process. I get it. I get it. Well, ladies, I really appreciate you coming on the show with me and talking about Luxe and helping our listeners and viewers learn more about who you are and what you're doing. And I think I'm excited about the Heidelberg listing, so long as someone keeps it the Heidelberg.
That's right.
But interesting to hear about it, though. And congrats to the current owner for being in the position after 50 years to be able to sell it. That's every business owner's dream, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us on the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come back anytime. We're here. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Of course, you can find us at buyinglocal.us and on all your podcast channels, whether that is YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Rumble, or anywhere on the internet, I guess, that has podcasts. So thanks, everybody, for listening. And you'll, of course, hear from us next week.